Hey guys, it's Mint. Welcome back. Alright, we are on our last episode. What I wanted to cover this time was ship upgrades, preparing it for battle. There are a number of ways you can do it. We can take our existing ship, we can purchase a new one. We're going to land here at this tradeway and go into the starport. I covered at the end last time how this starport is rated very high. It's rated 10. And so, a number of things we can do in the starport: refuel, of course, repair. We can get upgrades, which we've done already. You can buy a new ship, and you can buy multiple ships. So we could buy a second Guardian Interceptor. We could go for something bigger, something smaller. The devs are in the process of upgrading the starport to make it as easy as possible for the users to purchase a second ship, upgrade ships in a dry dock, make comparison decisions between components. And the base information is here, but there's plenty more to come. The best source, of course, is going to the wiki, and on the wiki, let's take a look at the ships section. Combat. Where are the starting ships? There are the ships. And it will bring up a table so we can see all of the ships currently available, with more coming. See their mass, price, the compartments they have them in, inside the ship, made up of large, middle, and small. The mass of the hull, or how big the hull is, armor and shields that are already on there. And armor is basically soak for ship damage to the hull, and shields are a soak for everything inside the ship, so the ship components and the crew. It shows you what the max size of the ship is as far as officers and crew. Not necessarily the starting amount, but what the max amount is. So on some of these larger ships where it says 7 officers, it may only initially hold 5 or 6, and you would have to add officer cabins for it. And the same thing with crew. It says 42 crew on these larger ones, and I believe they may start with 32 or 36, and so you would upgrade the barracks to hold it. How much cargo it initially holds, the engine that's in it, fuel tank, fuel range, and the cost to jump. So you have a big selection of ships here, and if you click on the ship name, where is our Guardian? There we go. It'll bring up a detail page with the picture, stats on it, and all of the starting components in there. Now, we did some upgrading to give it a larger fuel tank, bigger cargo holds, which of course also holds more fuel. And we've done those upgrades working as an explorer. But we did some basic upgrades to make the ship at least good enough to protect itself. We upgraded the shields a little bit. I don't know if we did the armor or not, but I want to take our existing ship and do some upgrades to it, point them out what we can do. And you're always looking at the stats to compare. So the armor currently blocks 26%, and the armor and shielding max out at 60% currently. So you can keep adding armor on it, but when it reaches that 60% threshold of, blocks 60% of the shots coming in, that's where you're maxed out. So with that in mind, let's look at some of the things we could do to improve the armor on this ship. Is there anything on the medium size that we can do? Let's look at these oops. Go back. Wanted to look at the harvester bays we had. Okay, so the harvester bay. Combat, alright. So there are a couple things here where there are deflector arrays, and this increases your shielding. There are mass dampeners, which will reduce the mass of the ship, so you can fit more stuff in the other compartments. But reinforced structure is where you're going to get a lot of armor. So reinforced structures 4 will improve our armor by 37%. We also get void resist, increased shielding. It does increase the jump cost. I'm going to go ahead and purchase that, and we'll take a look at our stats again. Alright, so now we're blocking 48%, and I think that was 26% before, so it certainly went up a lot. And here it is, reinforced structures 4. We have a deflector array, which is shielding, and this is a mass dampener. Let's take a look at these officer cabins, because this is an upgrade trick. We can take an officer cabin and we can upgrade that to a reinforced officer cabin. This also increases the armor and the shielding of the ship by 5%. A little bit more mass. And the way this is set up, you can compare the two. It's going to cost 25k, take 4 days. Let's go ahead and purchase that, and we should see our shielding and our armor go up. So we're up to 50%. This is up to 39. I'm going to look at this second harvester bay. So we're changing this ship over to something which is better for going into battle. So we'll go back to combat again and go to reinforced structures 4. Increase our armor, increase our shielding, and again increases our jump cost. Alright, looking at status again. So we're now maxed out at armor, blocking 60%. Now I didn't upgrade all of these quarters, so right now you play around with it and find out how to get there. Let's look at possibly increasing the shielding. I think if we go to some of these small components, and we have a wide arc scanner that helped us get data records. So we have these armored bulkheads, which is increasing armor and shielding, but we're already maxed out on the armor, so adding more is not going to help us. There are targeting matrices, improves boarding, accuracy, damage. No, none of these are going to do it. have too much on small on shielding. Oops, completely fell out. Go. Deflector array 4 is what we'd like to get. That's a medium. Can't get rid of that mass dampener, it'll throw us over. Well, let's play and get rid of this luxury cabin for now. Combat deflector array, okay. Go to a deflector array 4, purchase that. Let's look at our stats. And we're at 52%, so a little bit more careful planning on my part. And with the new starport, it will make playing what-if scenarios a lot easier. It will become more readily apparent the things you can do. Also, the forum will have people's favorite builds on there. And so you can basically follow what they do in order to maximize shielding or maximize this particular ship to go into battle with what weapons they use, etc., etc. It's that easy to do. And you know, once you have $1 million in the bank or $1 million plus, you have the money to be able to do that. The large components, I believe, are very sparse. Let's just see what we have in here for large components on what we could do. For example, cargo hold, if we replace that. Just fuel tanks for combat. There's a battle prow. Another way to increase your armor. Hull plating. Here we go. Plus 29 shielding. Boost the jump cost. And we're going to go ahead and purchase that and take a look at our stats. There we go. We're blocking 60 on both. Probably not an optimal build, but this one is going to be very hard to bring down. You have max shielding, max armor. We don't have any passenger cabins at the moment. Let's see what we could take out of here on the small ones. The wide arc scanner. I believe there is a cabin for small. So let's go to the very bottom here. This wide arc scanner. Let's see for crew. Cargo. There we go, you have a passenger cabin. So before we had a luxury passenger cabin in a medium size, and the difference between a luxury passenger and a regular passenger is if you're doing missions with a luxury passenger cabin, you actually make more money. It's more comfortable digs as it were, but we could replace with a passenger cabin, not get extra payment on those missions, but still be able to pick up a passenger. So I'll go ahead and purchase this and swap it out. So we have a passenger cabin, we have 2 torpedoes. There's our passenger cabin. Here are our officer cabin. Oh, I did reinforce one of them, but the other ones aren't. Doesn't make sense to upgrade more of them because we're at 60% block. So this isn't that too far off as to how I would go into battle. I'd probably want another weapon so that we could fire 3 at a time. So I will go find our wide arc scanner. Go to weapons. Scroll to the bottom. And let's pick up another level 7 dual laced array torpedo. So we have 3 torpedoes. They use 2 RP apiece, and that's actually not bad. I think we may have a choice on our engine, our Void engine here. Yeah, so there's an EX version. Let's compare the two. So we would still use 3 fuel per AU, 70% safety, burns 14 fuel for combat versus 16. Also, our current engine gives 11 pilot, this only gives 10. Current engine gives 8 electronics, this only gives 7. This adds 9 ship ops, this gives 11. So, and it changes the speed is higher. Speed is important if you're trying to board. Agility is important if you're trying to dodge. At range 4 and 5, agility is more important. At ranges 1, 2, and 3, speed is more important. Same amount of reactor points between the two. So, not much difference between the engine. Now, this is going to blow your mind. In the next 2 months, there's currently around 350 weapons components, and they're going to increase that by 1,000 over the next 2 months. Currently, the alpha testers, players currently in EA, they're invited to use the forum to put in ideas for additional components. Everything is going in there, from cloaking devices to newfangled weapons to new types of engines, and with different stats and so on and so forth. So this starport section of the game is going to become very, very complex here in the next 60 days. There's going to be a lot more choices, a lot more ways to differentiate your ship. And as you saw in the wiki, there's already a lot of ships that were created, and more is going to be added. But what we have now isn't bad. This obviously is a torp-based ship. It's going to be hard to rupture the hull, hard to damage the crew and components. But we have to maintain a range of 4 to 5 and basically just use our talents and the torpedoes to attack enemies. So let's pick a fight with someone. Maybe we can go to a more active... Alright, this has 8 Zenrin systems in it. And we'll go there, do some patrolling, or do some spying. And whoever we run into, we'll just get into a fight with them for some fun. Now, we have been collecting combat talents, ship combat talents, all along. And we will use some of them. Alright, let's try spying. Hostile military patrol, 2 of them there, great. Didn't hit any of them. Smuggler ship. Okay, let's just pick a fight with them. Alright, so with the basics of ship-to-ship battle, of course you know, we did that in episode 1, and we've had a couple of ship battles here. Now, instead of trying to escape, we're just going to stay right here. We're going to use all of our torpedo bays, and I'm going to select a very nasty talent like firing orders. Now we have 2 nav boosters and 1 pilot booster on the ship, so we should be able to dodge a lot of their shots. And you can see this red is their hull. They have electrical fires going on. Boo-hoo. And we'll fire at them again. There's a talent here called Scatter Shot that if we hit any of their weapons, it's going to reduce their armor, range change, and escape for the next 4 turns. Goody. And let's select our weapons. Alright, hit end turn. And they missed, and you can see here the scatter shot is stuck on there. They have a lot of fires going on. I'm going to go ahead and stack the same talent. These firing orders increase accuracy and damage. They used their unrivaled patch. They got rid of the fires and did some repair to their ship. And we'll finish them off with this. We're just going to stack this same talent right on top, more firing orders. Yeah, they're gone. Now we can use our battle damage repair to repair anything to our ship. I selected it, but it's telling us here no component repairs are needed. We can salvage it, or we can just leave. We'll just leave. Let's see if we can't. A lot of hostile people. We'll get rid of this Death Among crew. Hostile bounty hunter. Alright, we could use skip off the void. We're not looking to run from this guy though. Weapons. Plus 25 accuracy, plus 25 defense. We'll use that as our first one. And see how we're able to dodge anything he fires at us. Dodged everything so far. Very good. Alright. Have our weapons again. Now we've used up all of those of the firing order talents on our last battle. We will use bombardment. If we hit their weapons, it causes a loss of accuracy, less damage on their shots, and less armor for 3 turns. And they already have a fire going on. He still can't hit us. Alright, we knocked out their engines, so we have victory. We can use our rough interrogation skill. Let's do that. We got 14 intel records from the enemy crew that include Clan Zenrin secrets about their ongoing trade war with the Loon. Wow. So we could take this to a contact, which is the Loon, and it would be very valuable intel. And then we have a magnanimous victory, which will negate the reputation damage afterwards. I'm not worried about that. Let's take them for ransom. So when we do that, we basically sell them back to Clan Zenrin, and they paid 5,000 in ransom to receive the ship and crew in working condition. Alright. Spy one more time. Okay, there is a merchant. I just noticed we're getting low on fuel. Let's bribe our way out of this and fuel up. All that, we're only -5 rep. Wow. Okay, we've fueled back up. Don't need repaired. Crew once paid. Doctor, Spice Hall. Do I have some leveling up to do? Our crew. Okay, we're at level 11 for both Commander and Explorer now. So let's keep going Explorer. We want to get that Doctor up. When spying, remove a risk card. Okay. Coordinated fire. Buffs ship with +35 damage, +25 critical. Oh, we've already upgraded. I can't select a talent on this one. Now let's say you reach this point in the game and you say, you know what, I really want to be more of a ship-to-ship fighter. And we have a gunner here with a set of talents, but these are not optimized. Actually, they are probably optimized for going to battle. But as long as you are at a landing zone, you have the opportunity to retrain. So I'll just hit retrain. Currently costs 2,500 credits. And what that will do is reset all of their talents. So if these were optimized for exploring, maybe Gunner's not the best example, but if these were optimized for exploring, now we can go back in and say, all right, we're retraining them. Let's select a new set of talents. We'll take Raking Fire, yes. Targeting Lock. Firing Orders. Signature, Homing, and Bombardment. There you go. It took his 5 talents and redistributed them. So you can change your crew that way. Some other things you can do are get a larger ship. Can't get a new ship here, but at the other starport, let's just run back there. Okay, we're heading back to where we started on that tradeway. There it is. Okay, Zenren Explorer. Oh, let's just blow them out of the sky for fun. No, it's a big ship. Big hull. Not a lot of shield, a lot of armor. Okay, we are going to fire away. And we did get one of the firing orders back. I'm going to use vigilant scanners for our first shot, I think. That boosts our accuracy and our defense for 3 turns. Oh, and he's just trying to get away. He's got some fires going on. Set our weapons again. And targeting lock puts a -10 armor and -20 escape if we hit any of their weapons. So that will help prevent him from escaping. And we'll just keep taking him down. We're going to put our firing orders on him. He's got a really thick hull here. Next turn, we don't need to boost our shields. We're going to hit him with bombardment. And we're definitely making progress with this. These are vigilant scanners again. That only lasted a couple of turns and actually fell off. So we now have that talent available to us for the next couple of turns here. Hit him with bombardment again. He's using a furious prodding talent. That's to boost morale and to calm the crew down. Ah, okay, so we took out of their piloting systems. Could take their fuel, can loot their cargo. Let's at least look at it. They have explosives, grain, and clothing. If we take it from them, our reputation will suffer because it's considered piracy. But you can see if you're playing a pirate, probably be a good thing. We could destroy the ship and then pick through it. I'll just leave at this point. Alright, so we are heading back to the tradeway. So we could upgrade, whoops, not upgrade, get a new ship. Let's just buy another Guardian Interceptor here, purchase it. Then we take a look at the dry dock, there it is. At this point we can get on this ship and launch it. We can customize it. We can sell it. So when we go in and customize it, this is stock the way it was before, so we would have to perform whatever upgrades we want to do on it. Improve the weapons locker, put different sets of weapons on it. And when I play Explorer in my games, I'll actually get a second ship. I'll have one optimized for exploring and another one for something else. You can do a pretty good spying exploring ship, which is basically what we had. And then your second ship could be geared towards military action. And then as the mood strikes you, you can go out and you know, be a pirate for a while, or be a military officer for a while in a really good ship and be successful at it, and then come back and grab your old one and go back to exploring. Maybe depending on what conflicts are going on in the galaxy. If your faction is in a certain type of conflict with others, you can go be a military officer and patrol the skies above the Thaloon planets. And when the conflict is over, go back to being an explorer. Now, you know, in a couple of months, when they have, you know, this increase of components going in, new engines, new weapons, new armor, new shielding, new operations things to do exploring or spying, you're going to be able to really differentiate your ship in different ways and customize it the way you want. The choices simply aren't here today beyond what I showed you, but that's something that you want to play around with. Keep in mind as well that we're playing on basic now, so with the crew that we have, being, you know, higher level and the ship decked out the right way, it was almost like shooting fish in a barrel. If you play on a harder difficulty, um, hard, impossible, or even just challenging something higher, it's not going to be that easy. And the AI is getting smarter every time the developers go back in there and make another pass at them. Keep in mind, anything that you have available to them, the AI has available to it. And as you play your game, the developers are able to collect more data on people's play styles, and based off of that, introduce that into how the AIs are going to respond to you and your play style. So they will get smarter over time as well. Fun and challenging. But this is a first look at the new starport. This just came out, I think, last night, this release, and it's the first big step in making the starport improvements. All right, so we're still in our original ship. That one's staying in dry dock. I believe you can go into the ship. No. It's captain's log. No. They haven't introduced it yet, but you will be able to locate where your ships are dry docked anywhere in the galaxy. So if you have several ships on different planets, the game will be able to tell you where they are. Very similar to how the cargo is set up, and we have these stash locations. So there will be a similar button for ships, and you can set a waypoint to it. And so you can have ships in a couple different parts of the galaxy. Maybe if there's a really good explorer part of the galaxy, that's where your exploring vessel might be parked. And you purchase another ship there and go off and do something else, and when you're ready to come back, you come back and swap and do more exploring then. All right, that is going to finish out our Season 2 Advanced run as an explorer. If you have ideas on things you'd like to see, either specifically higher level stuff, or maybe a different job you'd like to see a run of, go ahead and put it in the comments. Also would encourage you to join our Discord, which is in the description of this video. You can find me personally if you want, or talk to the developers, talk to the advanced players with questions on strategies. But this game is available on Steam today for PC, Mac, and Linux. It will eventually be ported back to mobile for Android and iOS. And I hope you enjoyed the run here. All right, guys, until next time, I will see you. Take care of yourselves.